No, not this pace of ours, no, because we drink too much. It's too much, my God. There's no body that can handle this kind of partying. There isn't, there just isn't.
Guys, how are you all doing? Everything good with your sneakers? A great Saturday to all of you. First video of the year 2026, and once again I wish all of you a great 2026 with lots of peace, lots of love, and lots of prosperity. The year is starting off pretty confusing, isn't it? The year is starting with situations I don't want to discuss here, as I prefer to avoid politics. But it's going to be a very complicated year in that regard. Let's keep our eyes wide open, guys. Let's pay close attention to everything that's happening, because it's a very complicated situation. Not just in Brazil, but worldwide, right? We're talking about this big world of ours, God's world, and let's ask God for it to be a year of peace. We need peace to work. We need peace to live, peace to sleep, to dream. Zanato, we have to take good care of our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. That's all I wish for you. I always say, brother, do things differently and you'll get different results. For example, today is Saturday, and in a little while I'm going to grab my things and go to the gym. I'm going to get moving. I started this project last year, and you can already see Hugão Corintiano has lost a significant amount of weight. And I'm going to keep going. Why? Because it's good for my health, good for my spirit, for my mind. So the thing is to get moving. The thing is to get out of inertia. The thing is, I'll say it again, do something different from what you're doing, and your results will be different. So a great 2026 to all of you. We're back by the grace of God, and I'm very happy to be able to record this first video of this fantastic year, which will be 2026. Tomorrow there's React already rooting against the Piggies in the São Paulo Cup. I think Palmeiras' game tomorrow is at 7:30 in the evening, actually. I don't think it's tomorrow. It's Monday. We'll be rooting against them here on the channel. Monday, if I'm not mistaken, we'll be rooting against them. A year spent rooting against and celebrating. God willing, let's go for it. Let's work hard. Let's achieve it, guys. Look, Felipe Melo, who we call Les. Nothing against the person Felipe Melo. Nothing against the player Felipe Melo. But he's a player that for Corinthians fans we don't like because of his history against Corinthians for having played at Palmeiras. Saying so much nonsense about Corinthians, mocking Corinthians, we don't like it, but it's part of football folklore. It's part of Felipe Melo's personality. A big hug. I haven't met him, but he's a great person. And now Felipe Melo, since he's a commentator for Grupo Globo, he's showing up a lot now. In the media, he criticized Abel Ferreira. He made a video that was reposted by Entertainment and Sports Programming Network saying that Abel, because he lost everything last year, should be the first to show up. And then, this morning while playing his tennis, he goes and reaffirms it, but now more forcefully. I'm going to bring you this video from Felipe Melo, and I'll give you my opinion, always honest and without bias, here on Hugão Corintiano's channel. But a fan doesn't live on soccer alone, right? Monday's here, man, and then reality comes knocking at the door. Your vehicle tax bill is coming. You have fines to pay. You need to pay for your car. You have to get your car registration document. Do everything with the Gringo app, guys, and you can split it up to 12 times on your card. You can pay in up to 12 installments on your card. Look, go through the link in the pinned comment on this video. Download the Gringo app and do everything there. Bro, do everything. Don't waste time, okay? Reality knocks at the door and it's right there. Look, Monday, knocking on your Gringo app. You can pay your motor vehicle property tax fines, your car's CRVL, everything related to your motor vehicle in up to 12 installments, right? You can do it through the Gringo app, and of course, subscribe to my channel, leave your like, turn on the bell, and let's go to Felipe Melo and then to Hugão Corintiano.
I played some tennis here and now I'll answer. Abel's defenders. I agree with you. I'm also a defender of Abel Ferreira, without a doubt. One of the greatest coaches I've had in my career. Not the greatest, but one of the greatest I've had in my career. He made my dream come true by giving me important titles, in which I also had an important role, especially in the second one, where I was able to play more. I was injured in both finals, but during the Libertadores I played a key role through my leadership and on the field, especially in the semifinals against Atlético Mineiro. Anyway, that's just my opinion, and I think that for a guy who didn't win anything and spent millions and millions, he should be the first one to leave. That's just my opinion. If you agree with me, great. If not, I respect your opinion. Now, if you want someone who thinks just like you, I suggest you go to another Instagram, because here on mine, these are my thoughts. I'll repeat, I'll praise any team when it's deserved. I'm a former soccer player who works at Grupo Globo, and I need to praise any team that deserves to be praised, and I need to criticize any team that deserves to be criticized. You won't see me refuse to praise Corinthians just because they're rivals. If they deserve praise, I'll give it. I also won't hesitate to criticize Palmeiras or Fluminense if needed, or withhold criticism if it's not warranted. Here, things are straightforward. Abel is one of the greatest in Palmeiras history, possibly the greatest by titles. In achievements, I think he's already the best in Palmeiras history. The guys who have already been at the club for so many years, because they've been at the club so long, they must realize coaches and players change, but the club stays. No one is bigger than any club. No one is bigger than any club. Now I know what happened in there, right? Maybe the B team will come back. First, I spent a season at the giant club like Palmeiras, spending millions without winning anything. I'd return earlier, right at the start, before anyone else. Also, I don't want to take Abel's place. I'm not going to coach any club in Brazil. I'm not a manager. I'm not going to be a manager of any club in Brazil except for my club. To be with my club? All right, is that it then? Oh no, because he's talking. Because so-and-so, I don't know what, then he's talking. Because he left Palmeiras. Yeah, I left Palmeiras. It was a mess, right? I was only Libertadores champion with Fluminense, Recopa champion with Fluminense, two-time Carioca champion with Fluminense, two-time Taça Guanabara champion with Fluminense. The last one to lift a Copa do Brasil at Palmeiras was me. The Libertadores was me too. So like I have my share of responsibility in the important situations that happen too. And when I criticize someone, it's not because I don't like them or want their place. When I give a compliment, it's not because I switched sides or anything. No. I give compliments when someone deserves to be praised, and I criticize when someone deserves to be criticized, just like I've praised Abel many times. He was the best coach in Brazil for me and remains one of the best. Just like Fluminense, Felipe Luiz also had his moment of inconsistency. And when many criticized, I praised him. Come on.
Felipe Melo, go. First of all, I think that Palmeiras fans, I don't even know if Felipe Melo is a Palmeiras fan, if he roots for Fluminense, if he roots for Boca Juniors. I don't know who he supports. He said he won many titles with Palmeiras, won many titles with Fluminense, won everything in his career, a player for the Brazilian national team. But here's the point I want to make to Felipe Melo. Did you win by yourself? You didn't win by yourself, man. When we win, everyone wins. The players, the board, the staff, the cleaning ladies, the club's doorman. The group wins. When we win, everyone wins. When we lose, everyone loses, brother. When you lose a title, you don't lose alone, and Abel didn't lose 2025 alone. It was all Abel's fault. It's all on Abel Ferreira's shoulders. Palmeiras fans think it's fair to put all of this on Abel Ferreira. But he is to blame. Of course he is. Of course he is to blame. Abel is to blame. Leila is to blame. Anderson Barros is to blame. The players, everyone is to blame. But we spent 700 million and we didn't win absolutely anything. Is that true? But it wasn't Abel who spent all that by himself. It wasn't Abel who signed the players by himself. It wasn't Abel who recommended them by himself. Abel doesn't do everything alone. There are people behind him. Abel doesn't go on the field to take penalties. Abel doesn't go on the field to make a cross. Abel doesn't go on the field to take a shot at the goal. And what about the share of blame for the players who played badly in several matches, who didn't come in well, who missed that easy goal, who missed that penalty? Is Abel Ferreira to blame? No, he isn't. So do Palmeiras fans have this habit of thinking that everything is Abel Ferreira's fault? You need to speak the same language. It's comments like that, Felipe. But if you like Palmeiras, if you're a real Palmeiras fan, they are absolutely useless. The year hasn't even started. The year started. The year has already started. And Abel Ferreira is going to show up 2 or 3 days after the squad. What is that going to change? There's no tactical training on those days. It's pure physiology, just recovery. The guys were celebrating. Did you see Paulinho's New Year's video? Everyone celebrating should celebrate. Even spending time with their families. There's a little excess here and there. Have a drink here. Eat a little extra food there. Now it's time to lose weight, to get back in shape. Actually, Abel Ferreira's importance as the leader matters because he's the captain. Of course, but it doesn't matter. Whether he arrives 1 or 2 days later because he lost, he still has to get there first. You don't even know if he's working during his days off. You don't know what was agreed with Palmeiras' management. You don't know if Abel stayed later than the players, though it seems he did. And another thing, every human being who works, man, has the right to rest. You want to be with your family, you want to be with your friends, you want to have some peace or just be by yourself. I went out one night, I didn't want to do anything, so I didn't do anything, and that's it. I put pressure on myself internally because I don't have a boss, right? I do get paid by YouTube, other social networks, and you, but that night I just didn't feel like doing anything. I deserved it. I worked the whole year. I wanted to be with my wife and my daughter. You know? So, like, man, what nonsense. A Palmeiras fan needs to think about the whole, not just the individual. Everyone is moving forward. This division was created between the Abel supporters and those who don't like Abel and don't want him anymore. At Palmeiras, this division was created and it's not helping. One Palmeiras fan speaks one language, the other a different one. And my dear, if there's no unity, if everyone doesn't walk in the same direction, it won't go anywhere. I think it's an unnecessary criticism in a year that's just beginning that won't change anything. Because I was a soccer player. When I played there, it was like, you're no longer my brother or son. I respect those who agree with Felipe Melo's opinion, who think he should already be there working. But son, the one in charge there is President Leila. The one who gives the vacations is President Leila. It's Abel Ferreira's right. It's the players' right. In a season that's going to be really busy, a lot of games, damn. And the guy doesn't deserve 2 or 3 more days of rest. You guys are kidding, right? You guys are kidding. Palmeiras fans today have to think, because a fan's mindset is always focused on results and trophies, titles. Fans want that. Abel Ferreira's work is fantastic, especially for Palmeiras fans. There's nothing to say, so I think the criticism is unnecessary. You have to criticize. Yes, it wasn't a good year for Palmeiras. There were many mistakes, more mistakes than successes. But after just 2 days, they're taking everything down already. I think that's really unfair. Leave your comments, okay? Leave them in the comments. Do you agree with Hugão or Felipe Melo? Everything okay? And hey, I'm happy to be here with you again. And hey, 2026 is going to be fantastic. A kiss to your heart. Enjoy your last weekend. Reality returns Monday. Hey, goodbye. I'm out.